Hi everyone, welcome to the Caregiver and Spoonie podcast. I'm Jordan Banderas, and before we get started, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes of the podcast. And let's go ahead and get into today's episode, shall we? So, on today's episode, I wanted to talk about how it's time to reinvent yourself. Now, a lot of people will ask, why should we reinvent ourselves? And let me tell you here why. Now, when you reinvent yourself, pretty much you're accepting change. Now, you have to remember, a lot of things change around us. The places that you live change, like the people that live around you change. You want to change your body. Let's say you want to lose weight. Like in my case, I need to lose like 15 to 20 pounds, and I'm not bragging or anything like that. I'm calling myself out. So I have to lose weight, so I have to work out, and I have to reinvent myself. And one of the things that happens when you reinvent yourself, at least in my perspective and in my story, is that once you start reinventing yourself, you learn new things. Like one of the things that I had to reinvent myself with is getting married. I never expected to get married and to be married for this long, and obviously my marriage is gonna last forever. And I never expected because of things that were told to me by even my own family, you know. But when I got married, and then my wife got sick, and then I got the diagnosis of my PTSD, what happened at that point is that I had to reinvent myself to become a better husband, better caregiver, better friend, better person overall. So I had to reinvent myself. So is it easy? No. Is it hard? Hell yes. It is hard as hell. The reason why it's so hard is because we don't want to change. We have these deep beliefs of this is who we are, this is who we will be. I don't want to change it. And when we try to change, it causes conflict within ourselves. It's like, hey, you're changing because of this person or because of this reason or for whatever you want to change, and you might not like it. You might not like it. That's the other thing, is like sometimes we feel like we might not like the person that we're gonna change into. Like, for example, when you're like in my case, let's just go with my case. I need to lose 15 to 20 pounds. Like I said, it's gonna be hard. So what I need to do, I need to reinvent myself in how I eat, what I eat, and when I eat, and when I work out, and how I work out. And that's kind of hard because it's like, I like food. I don't like to work out. Not a lot of people like to work out. Like, it's a hard thing to do. Like, I'm lazy. Let's just say it. I'm lazy. So I have to reinvent myself to stop being lazy, to stay on track with my food, to be able to eat healthy. Even though it doesn't taste good, I still have to do it. And that's a way of reinventing yourself, because you have to change a lot, especially when you want to lose weight. And the same thing happens when you don't want to be in pain. That you have to understand what causes the pain, and then you have to reinvent yourself to change whatever you need to change so you're not in pain. So if something is causing the pain, something that you do, like for example, like you like to walk 5 miles, but due to whatever is going on with your body, you can only walk like 3, but you still want to walk 5. You have to reinvent yourself and understand that you can only walk 3. That's pretty much reinventing yourself, from my opinion. Okay, everybody has different opinions. This is just mine. And one of the things that happens when you reinvent yourself is that it can help you find yourself, your true self. And the reason why I say that is because when you accept the change and you say, you know what, I'm going to reinvent myself. I'm going to move out of state, or I'm going to move to a different house, different city. I'm going to change doctors. I'm going to do this to reinvent myself, reinvent my care, reinvent my, like, whoever's taking care of me, you know, reinvent all these things in my life. It's going to help you find yourself. And the reason, or the way that it does that, or how it does that, is that it's going to show you that you can adapt to the change. And once you understand that you can adapt to the change, you can keep going. You might even like it. That's the thing. It's like you might actually start seeing changes that, and you're like, you know what? I like this change. For example, like in my case, and I have mentioned, I know I talk about this a lot, but it's my story, and I want to share it, and I want you to understand why I do this. So one of the things that used to happen a lot with me is that I will snap. I was so snappy, and I was so angry, and you will say something to me, and I always had to say something back. But I reinvented myself after therapy and with therapy. So what I do now is that even if somebody says something to me, I don't say anything back. I try to analyze the reason why they do it, why they saying this, the things that they're saying, or why they're doing, or why they're attacking me, and I try to reply with kindness. And that's something that I never did before. So it is hard. And you can even ask my wife. Like, she has seen it, and she can see it, that sometimes I just want to like tell you to, like to go do something to yourself that you might not even like. So it is hard. It is hard. I'm gonna keep repeating that it is hard, because in my example, it's like I used to be that way for so long, for over 30 years. I was the same way. So all of a sudden you have to change in order to reinvent yourself and become a better person. So, or even a better self. You want to improve yourself. So you have to make all these changes, and you have all these habits that you have been doing probably unconsciously for so long that you don't even know that you're doing them. And that's a lot of the things that will happen to me, is that when I was angry, I will just start swearing without thinking. And that was a bad habit. That's an extremely bad habit. So I had to reinvent myself to understand, like, okay, can I do this? And then I was able to find myself and understand, like, you know what? Just because I was angry, that doesn't mean that I'm angry all the time. I was angry for a reason. So I was able to find myself by understanding the reason why I was angry, why I was doing the things that I was doing. Like that's how you can find yourself. And one of the things that at least with me happened is that the new you can be better than the old you. And if you don't like the new you have to make sure that you're not liking it for the right reasons. Because if you're just not liking it because it's too hard, or you don't feel comfortable about changing for the better, then in the future that can make you feel bad about yourself. Like, oh, you can be like, and I've done this. That's why I'm talking about this right now, because I remember trying to change so many times. Like in the past, I tried to get into meditation, and I couldn't, because I would just fall asleep. Now I can meditate. And I was like, gosh, I should have done this a long time ago. And I started feeling bad about myself, because it's like, I could have done this a long time ago, and I could have done this and that and that. But it's like, you know what? I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to do it. So now I'm ready. I'm able to reinvent myself. I'm liking the new me. The old me is gone. There's a new me. You can do the same thing. That's the best part. Like, and that's why I like I mentioned earlier in the episode, like, if you have to change doctors, if you have to change friends or anything, if you have to change your whole circle, your whole life, do it. Because reinventing yourself is not for anybody else but yourself. If it's gonna help you, you have to literally understand the pros and the cons. Like, if it's gonna help me this way, how it's going to help me, if it's not going to help me, if it's going to affect me. Like for example, like in my case, I know that when I lose the weight, and see what I'm saying? I say when, because I'm committed. So when I lose the weight, I know that my joints and my knees are going to stop hurting. I understand. I understand that my legs will stop hurting. Why? Because I have done it before, and that's why I fell. So I know what I need to do. I know that the new me is going to be better than the old me. So that's one of the things that you also have to understand, that the new, if you need to reinvent yourself, do it to improve yourself, not to make yourself suffer more from whatever you're suffering. Like if something around you, like if your environment is causing you to be depressed or anxious, or there's something in your house that's making you sick, like sometimes that happens where there's mold or things like that, or even the pain or something that you're taking, like you're gonna have to reinvent yourself and move if you can, or you're gonna have to reinvent yourself and rebuild the whole house, like gut the whole house on the inside and rebuild, because something could happen before you even start living there, like, or you're gonna have to reinvent yourself and get a new doctor, like there's so many things that you can do. And just understand this, like change is hard, but once you understand that the change is for your own good and you accept it, it gets easier. And once you understand that once it gets easier, you can actually start seeing the improvements, then your life is going to start to change. You can change your life, but you have to change yourself. You cannot change your life without changing yourself. Like you have to improve every day, and you will see the changes. Like I see them in my life. And I'm telling you this honestly. Like I've seen them in my life. Like after therapy, when I start to change myself, like the way that I think, the way that I do things, instead of being irrational. I'm not gonna lie, I was very irrational. I'm more rational now. I see the changes. Like I can talk better. I can understand better. Like I can have like deep conversations with my wife, deep conversations with my friends. All of these things, like I've been able to change my life by reinventing myself, and I want you to do the same, because it has helped me so much. So whenever you're ready, I know that whenever you're ready, you're going to be able to do the same thing, and it's going to help you one way or another. You might not see the changes or the benefits right away. It takes time. But once you do, remember, even if it's a little benefit, if it's 5% benefit, 1%, wherever, still is better than the old you. So just remember that. And that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. I hope you guys are enjoying the episodes. I hope you guys are liking the podcast. Thank you for all your feedback. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for your emails. Thank you for your stories. Thank you for the new followers, the new subscribers. Thank you for helping me make the community grow, and don't forget to share, like, subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And always don't forget to share your story if you want to share it. If you want to do it anonymously, you can do it. You can send it to me at the Caregiver and Spoonie at gmail.com, or you can post it on the community so you can receive the support of the community. And I'll leave you like always. As always, take care of yourself and have a great day.